Hey everyone, this is your local writer, artist, intermediate literary, visual literacy person, creative. Um, Today we're going to talk about a few things. I haven't written anything down. I'm just grateful to be here. I hope you are too. I don't know if you're familiar with Redbubble, but I'm starting to put images on Redbubble because I like to merchandise my artwork. Um, and these are just basic, some would say doodles, but I say they're drawings or even concept designs. Get one here for you on the wall. I'm going to do more of these. And when I was doing this one, I wrote a poem on the back. It's called Happenstance Man. Paranoia, I forgot my place. The cell to my existence, the distraction to an older life. Propaganda sings like my pen clotting. Stop me from wanting, longing for your affection. I'm grateful for everything, the freedom to create while observing the happenings or happening. Don't antagonize me. Rather be my professional, easy meditational music. It's easy meditational music. It will all come what may. Keep me together from mending you, for you and me. Happiness. For you and me, happiness. Interesting. So then of course I did this. This is all watercolor. I like to have the design of the work, and then I did the watercolor over it. However, it does give sort of a blur to it, and I kind of like that because it takes the eye from one level to the other level in depth of field, if you will. But in the future, I might get a permanent pen and do the painting first and then the pen over it. I do think that may entice more people. However, as you know, there is paper, pencils, watercolor pencils, and all that jazz. Today we're talking about what I've been doing for my Integrative Digital Art Adult course or challenge. I've been writing my reflections, and I hope that helps you if you take on a challenge like this. Is on my YouTube channel. I'm also going to post this on Instagram because what's really happening is that I'm finding that even if I post on Facebook, it doesn't seem to go to Instagram, and people are more apt in Instagram to watch certain videos or videos as opposed to on YouTube where there's an inundation of short videos. So I'm kind of switching to that, and I may even go to TikTok depending on if I'm able to do that on my Chromebook, and I think that's true. I'm finding that I'm going to do also demonstrations of my art. I'm going to be creating art. It was recommended to me by my brother that maybe I should be doing something like that. And I can narrate it or tell you stories why I'm doing it and why I'm doing it. And maybe that will encourage you and inspire you to create your art. Not my art, but your art. I don't believe plagiarism is really possible when you're creating your art or expressing your own self. It may look the same, but it may not. It may not be yours, and that's the downfall. If you really want to express yourself, even with AI, AI is not going to do your work for you. So, and the long story short, even if it's technical work, it's really not going to express you. And the long story short of it, you won't be satisfied. I'm finding that in other people's work too. So I did yesterday an hour to 2 hours of reflection. My reflection went into my new collection of poems. As you know, I write poems. Oops. What happened there? There we go. Okay. Boop. And we're still recording. That was weird. And I'm calling it A Journey Home. And I'll just show you, kind of have proof. It's all about the evidence, right? Just the evidence, please. Only the facts. Just kidding. And I'm calling it A Journey Home, Nurturing the Prose Poetry. I'm a pro, I guess, in a sense, of poetry writing, based on my skills and learning. I had 12 years of educational background, with general education, special education, enrichment, and certification as a substitute teacher after 12, 13 years. And I did also get certified as a teacher assistant 3 with special extensions, which I guess that makes me a teacher of some sort. Depends on who you're talking to, in what county, what country, what state, which is kind of a lot of gateholders. And I'm trying to debunk that in a sense of saying, if you're trying to learn something, who's to say you can't continue to learn it, even at your level? So I went on after 13 years or 12 years and continued pursuing my education and got a master's in creative writing, English. I'm all about developmental English and not about ELA. Well, maybe ELA. English as a second language. No, I'm not about that. ELA, yeah. English Language Arts, yeah. And ELL, English Language Learners. But mostly for adult learners who may be coming from a country such as Gambia or a state within, Africa. So, and I also learned that, not to get on a different tangent, that the national language is not always the tribal language. So, and that goes for America too. We have things called slang, jargon, and also we are influenced by many different cultures in different regions in our United States and even in New York State. To say that we're not multicultural will be a misnomer, maybe. And colloquialisms versus folk music and music itself. So we are all influenced by popular music, I think. So, long story short of it, here I go. There are 29 already pages here, and here are my titles. I'm not going to go through them all. And as you know, I'm making mostly chapbooks, 45 to 65 pages. 65 pages is considered a professional book, so I may go that route. But you can see as my reflections take hold, that's 1 page, and then there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. About 11. But what I'm really trying to do is keep it in a 5.5 by 8.5 book size. So that is, I'm going to try to find a book that's similar. Of course, it's not handy. So it's these wonderful books that I'm going to probably be presenting at my next reading. That size, this size, and of course this thick. So that's what my goals are. So that's what I'm going to be doing. I might even shorten this video so people can view it at their leisure and not be taxed by it. Just saw a poem that I may have written that I did not put in this new one. So let me see if I did. If you want a sneak peek, I'll read one for you. Here we go. This is my dog poem. I find writing a dog poem really helps me focus on what really matters to my writing, and hopefully your writing, on trying to bring beauty and love into our lives, and gratitude, because sometimes we get mixed up in the news and we forget that we are thankful for living where we are, even if it's not in New York City, but in New York State, in the rural parts, Catskill Mountains, if you will. So this is called Every Morning. I'm musing, waiting for you to wake, crawling out from your covers, standing at the edge of the bed, acknowledging a thud with a thump, a trump of a jump of hilarity as he greeted me with a few observations. Bowls empty again. So now I just kind of, what I did, it's a contemporary, I believe, influenced by haiku, and also by, using the, I forget what it's called, the meter, or the lines. There's 3 lines. So, yeah, so that means something about duality or something like that. I forget. So that's one, and I don't want to read all of them, do I? There's one about love here that I kind of was dazzled about, but maybe I can't find it. Here it is. I dreamed I loved. I love you as you are, not for what I want. I always thought he loved, as we shared being together, relating, family. You said we can love him. I think just the isolation of the lines and the punctuation of the end dash or dash itself, and it just brings so much into the work. And the title is longer than the lines that I'm using, and again, 3 lines, which means perhaps to me like there's a third person narrative. It's the speaker, it's really not me as the person. So I think that's kind of cool. So I'm finding that to be true in this journey. The speaker is speaking to me, and so forth. I watched recently a movie where this young girl was becoming a witch, if you will, but it was in the Netherlands, and it came out as real, more because of the narrative, like a Blair Witch kind of thing. Instead of just the overall narrative voice, they used the imaging of the cinematography, and then also put that with the screams and so forth and stuff. But that wasn't happening with this story, and I hope, if you think about it, when I was reading it, what kind of music would you use as an overplay or an underplay of this, to complement the reading? I'm always about the viola, if you will, or no, cello, not cello, more the cello, viola. Okay, so I'm going to cut this short, and then I'm going to do a reading of my children's book, because I wanted to let people know that it's out here. It's 14 creative travel children's stories. I'm Adrian Tompkins, as you know, and in my last 30 years, of course, I went from I lived near the Orange County, near the Hudson River, and then I moved up to Seneca Lake area, and then down to Syracuse, and then to Massachusetts, and now I'm here in the Catskills. So, and I found that, and of course Dutchess County I lived in, where I taught, but not by myself, with a group, with a team of people, of course. So I applied all these stories that I gathered, even from family members, indirectly, and also from nature, and so it came out great. I'm just going to go over a couple of the stories, and then I'll probably read one to you. It's a book. It's a draw a story. So it has 14 stories, and each page has a spot for a child or person to draw or illustrate. And it really gives somebody some leisure, a break from their day, a break from the computers and the cell phones, and to bring some enjoyment into their lives. Okay, so this is 15 minutes. I read you poems, I went over my recent work, and then I'm going to do just the other for you. And again, I put this on YouTube, and then I'm going to put it on Instagram if I can. Okay, talk to you soon. Bye.